that hill gets steeper and steeper. I don't understand. So I just wanted to first point out my shirt, which I wrote the whole Declaration of Independence so I wouldn't forget it. But the reason I did it is many of you probably know of Heather Cox Richardson, who's been writing letters to Americans since, well, I think since Trump started. And in her new book, she really talks about the term conservative. And for a simple-minded person like me, these words, conservative, liberal, they begin to get so confused. What's a Democrat? What's a Republican? But she goes back to Abe Lincoln talking about he's a conservative because he wants to conserve what was in the Declaration of Independence, that ideal that all people are endowed by their creator with inalienable rights. And that's what this has always been about, is that dignity of every person. So I'm proud to wear the shirt, proud to know that the word conservative is not what people are doing today in Washington, D.C. and saying, I'm a conservative. They are radicals. But Rick brought up going to Danbury. That's where you were, right? I was in Danbury last Sunday. People from Danbury had asked me to come and speak about Southbury, and specifically about what happened in 1937, and most of you have heard me talk about Home of the Brave. And so it was another opportunity to talk to a group who had never heard this story. Not one of them had heard the story. I think, well, I shouldn't say. One person had seen the movie. The rest of the people never saw the movie or heard about it. And what I observed is when we first made the movie and we would show it to groups, the reaction was usually, I had no idea anything like that ever happened in the United States. Never learned anything like this in school. So it was one of surprise and fascination. But now when I go and I show the movie, the reaction is, wow, look at all the parallels to what is happening today. The similarities of hate groups being out there talking about what I might call othering, looking for other people to dismiss, despise, hate. This is not new. This is something that's part of our society, and this is something that we all have to work every day to do what we can to keep it from, what's the right word, spreading. And I think for me, that's why I show up at the 175th week, as I've done in so many other weeks, to make sure that I realize this is an ongoing effort that we need to do, because this movement of hate is so endemic to our society. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you. And by the way, if I could, because looking at everybody here, I think all of you have seen the movie. All of you here today are tired of hearing me talk about it. But for you who are on Facebook Live, if you haven't seen the movie, it's now streaming. You can go to the website, southbury-ct.org/1937. You'll find all kind of resources there, including the documentaries and many webinars that have been done about the Southbury story. Not just people here in Southbury, but people all over the United States are discussing this. Students are doing their master's thesis and using what happened here in Southbury as the jumping off point of what they want to talk about. So it's really becoming a more and more important story, and it's something that keeps inspiring me, and I hope it will keep to inspiring others. One last thing that was really a kind of a privilege, where I was speaking at the Danbury Unitarian Universalist congregation, one of their members is Jeremy Stein. And for those of you who don't know, Jeremy is the executive director of Connecticut Against Gun Violence. And I would say more than any other person I know of in this state, he has done more to push for safe gun laws over the last, I'd say, decade. And Jeremy was on a high because he had been down to the White House for the signing ceremony for the creation of an office for the prevention of gun violence. And I thought that was a real tribute to him, and it was a chance for me to honor Jeremy and all that he's done for the state and for the country. Thank you.